Are you guilty of this? Most men are, even the ones with great taste. You know a well-made car when you see one, the lines, the stance, the stitching inside. You can spot the right leather shoe from across the room. Your suits are tailored, your pairings are intentional, jacket to shirt, tie to belt. You appreciate the right whiskey, the right wine, the right pairings. But when it comes to your home, that same level of taste goes missing. Not because you don't have it, but because no one ever taught us how to apply it here. So the same mistakes keep showing up in every man's space. Let's fix them, because once you see them, you won't make them again. If you're a returning subscriber, hit the thumbs up. If you're new here, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be a subscriber. The first mistake is choosing furniture that's too big or randomly placed. I see it all of the time. Oversized sectionals crammed into small living rooms. Everything pushed against the wall like we're about to play duck, duck, goose. People sometimes worry about the size of their room, as we've been conditioned to think bigger homes, bigger rooms, bigger spaces are always better. Although they can be very impressive, it's only when they are styled correctly. So let me drive this point home. A well-designed 10 by 10 room will out-impress a poorly planned 20 by 20 space any day. It's the same way that a single plate of food cooked by a 5-star chef will bring more satisfaction than a bottomless buffet of low-quality food. For the purpose of creating a basic guideline when it comes to furniture sizing and placement, we'll use the most commonly found sizes of these rooms and consider them standard. The most common size of a living room that you're going to find is roughly 12 by 18. Master bedrooms, 14 by 16. Dining rooms, 12 by 14. Home offices, 10 by 12. And then ceiling heights are generally 8 to 9 feet high. These are some furniture sizes that would work within those standard rooms. Your sofas, 72 to 96 inches long, 36 to 42 inches deep. Float it if you can. Don't just shove it against the wall unless you absolutely have to. For your chairs, you can find something that's 28 to 36 inches wide. Try to encourage good conversation without needing to shout by placing the chairs 30 inches from the sofa and angled slightly inward. This will allow people to speak comfortably without reaching too much, discomfort. Coffee tables. These will be about 2/3 the length of your sofa. You're going to want to leave 14 to 18 inches of space between the sofa and the table. This proportionately looks correct, and it also allows room for you to walk to and from your seat. Your TV console table should extend about 6 inches wider than the TV on each side. Now, something that a lot of people struggle with is the TV distance. It's either way too close or way too far from the seating area. You don't want to be squinting when you're trying to watch a movie because the actors are so small you can't see them, but you also don't want to feel like you're in the front row of a movie theater. A good guide is to have the TV console about 6.5 feet away from the seating area for a 50-inch TV. You would increase this to 8 to 9 feet for a 65-inch TV. You can use these two reference points and adjust accordingly to your TV size at home. For rugs, one of the biggest mistakes is going too small. This is how you resolve that. In most living spaces, you're going to be aiming for probably an 8 by 10 rug, but more than likely a 9 by 12. The goal is to have the front two legs of your furniture pieces sitting atop that rug. Mistake number 2 is poor lighting choices. Most guys rely on a single overhead light, and to make things worse, it's a blue-toned LED bulb that feels like an interrogation room. Lighting sets the tone of a space, and if you want a home that feels warm and welcoming, you need layers. Here are 5 lighting types that you might be able to utilize in combination with one another. Wall sconces. You can use these flanking art or mirrors. They're excellent for hallways and lounges. They're convenient in areas where floor lamps might be a bit too intrusive. Table lamps create warm, intimate zones of light, perfect for defining corners or conversation areas. Floor lamps behind accent chairs or tucked into corners are great. Arc and tripod lamp shapes are going to add an interesting silhouette presence to the room. If you're working with a small room, these can actually replace the need for any overhead lighting when positioned correctly. Picture lights are something you don't see used as often, and they can be quite striking. These are mounted above or behind artwork. They highlight focal points to give a gallery-like effect, and I would certainly consider them a more sophisticated addition. Bookshelf lighting will make your bookshelves feel curated and styled. These lights help pull attention toward the sculptures and collectibles and books that you have displayed. It's a very intentional modification. A tip when choosing the bulbs for these light fixtures: choose color temperatures between 2700 to 3000 K or Kelvin. That's a warm golden tone that mimics the tones of natural candlelight. It's ideal for moody masculine rooms. You'll want to avoid temperatures that are in that 4000 K range and up. It's too clinical, and it'll flatten every color that you have within your room, and it'll kill that richness of the materials you have in that room. Mistake number 3 is not having a defined style or color palette. This is one of the most common issues that rooms have, in that they feel random. It's not that you don't have taste, it's that the purchases did not follow an original plan. A piece here, another piece there, and suddenly nothing speaks the same language. Well, here's the fix. Build your room around a rule of 4 color palette. The anchor tone will be about 60% of your room, your wall color, the major furniture pieces, the rug. The secondary tone will sit at about 25% of the room. It creates contrast or complement, something like a leather chair or a curtain. Accent tones are 10 to 15% of the room. They are the pop: throw pillows, artwork, and side chairs. Materials and neutrals are about 5 to 10%. You're adding warmth or shine with materials like brass, walnut, or matte black. The palette works best when you mix a combination of light, mid, and dark tones. Have some temperature contrast and include a bold moment to ground it all, maybe a dark wall or a striking chair or an espresso sofa. When everything speaks the same visual language, the room starts to tell a story. Mistake number 4 is a lack of texture or depth. A room can look complete and still feel flat. Furniture stores do a wonderful job at creating overly coordinated displays because they try to sell sets of furniture where each piece looks absolutely the same. Hard surfaces, no layering, one note. Imagine a plate of spaghetti and meatballs made to perfection. Long, tender strands of homemade pasta. It's cooked with a rich tomato sauce with touches of garlic and basil. Juicy, hand-rolled savory meatballs with a golden finish sit atop the pasta. Herbs and parmesan sprinkled across the dish for a final touch. Incredible. Your mouth is watering thinking of it. Now, I want you to picture a different take on that same spaghetti. Boxed flour noodles, slightly undercooked. The sauce is made of the same noodles. They were just put in a blender and turned into liquid. The meatballs are slices of bread mixed with water, and they've been rolled into balls. To top that off, raw flour is sprinkled on top of the pasta. Same amount of ingredients, same organization of those ingredients, very different outcome. The same goes for rooms where they are technically complete, but less than satisfying. Here's an example of this situation. A leather sofa, glass coffee table, gray walls, black console table, hardwood floors. Seems like it might be stylish when you first hear it, but without the texture, the softness, or the variation, it falls flat. These are some steps that you can take to fix that flatness. The first is going to be layering materials. Pair leather with wool or flannel throws. Add a linen Roman shade to the window frame. Use a natural fiber rug. The second is going to be introducing contrast. Pair matte walls with satin or polished trim finishes. Mix soft and hard edges like a curved chair with a blocky coffee table. Use black next to cream or dark wood beside brass. The third is going to be adding visual depth. lamps and sconces create shadow play versus that flat overhead lighting. Artwork with depth, framing, and tone variation. Plants, layered drapery, and sculpture decor are things to think about. The bottom line is that a room can be finished, but it still can feel flat if it doesn't engage your eyes and touch at multiple levels. You want a space that makes you pause, absorb, and stay, not just pass through. Remember, if you want a space to finally reflect your style, we can help design that with you. There's a link in the description below to get started. Mistake number 5 is not having a focal point or a statement piece. Every great room has a visual anchor, a wow moment. Without it, a space just feels like a collection of things instead of a story. But how do you find your focal point? Well, ask yourself, where's the first thing that my eyes go when I enter the room? Is it a fireplace, a large window or a view, built-in shelving, an alcove? That's your opportunity, so use it. And if there's no architectural feature to build around, then you create one. Use a bold piece of art, a moody wall color, or a sculptural chair. You might be asking, okay, well, how do I choose the focal piece itself? Well, it needs to have weight, either visually or physically. Character, meaning style-specific presence, and anchoring ability, meaning its ability to pull other elements in the room together into a relationship with one another. Here are 5 statement pieces that work almost anywhere and instantly elevate a room. Oversized framed art, or maybe a vintage map. This will set the tone and emotion instantly. It can be serious, abstract, bold, or quiet. A single large piece can help you avoid that gallery wall chaos and bring easy clarity to the room. You can try a sculptural floor lamp. They add verticality in rooms with flat furniture lines. Shapes like tripods, arcs, or dome designs will add silhouette interest. And architectural accent chairs. They have curved arms, tufting, or exposed wood, and it'll instantly signal style. A well-chosen chair adds character without overwhelming the room. A vintage trunk or a distressed wood coffee table. This is going to add age, character, and weight to the room. It offers depth. It's not just filler. Floor-to-ceiling drapery in a heavy fabric. This can create height and richness without the need for wall art. Let the statement piece pull the room together. It's not just decor, it's the central identity. When your space reflects your style, people feel it the moment that they walk in. And when you approach this with an intentional type of approach, it says a lot about you in a respectable way. If you found this video helpful, hit the thumbs up. If you feel like sticking around a while, feel free to subscribe. See you on the next one.